Hi, it's Reverend Kristen here, and glad to be with you sharing this moment whenever you're having the moment. It is September 4th and Sunday morning. There is a heat advisory out here where I am, so it's very, very hot, or it's hotter than we're used to. So that's what's going on with the weather. That's going on with what's happening in my neck of the woods. But this month we are talking about beginnings. The whole month is about beginnings. And today is about starting fresh. And there have been times, if we have big events in our life that kick off a uh, a reason for a change, a reason for a change. And it is then up to us to decide, is it big? Is it little? Is it meaningful? Or is it just another day? So things that can kick off starting fresh, moving, a marriage, retirement, a divorce, a loss, the pandemic, or an illness. And I'm sure there's many, many more. But about 10 minutes ago, I just realized it's the 4th of September. And the 4th of September, 13 years ago, I had a monumental opening for a change and for starting fresh. I didn't recognize it at the time. I didn't know it at the time, but I'm here to tell you that it was and is. And I just got moving in my life and the chaos of things that are going on, and I forgot. And I'm taking that back. I'm taking that back this morning to recognize and honor being here, being able to put my feet on the floor, on the earth and ground, and know that I am here for a reason. So 13 years ago, I was very busy with my job. I was running around, driving from, uh, I don't know, I could be on the road 6 hours a day. And I came home one night, it's about 8 o'clock, and I had this pain, and I thought I had pulled a muscle. I was in excruciating pain for the evening, woke up, or I opened my eyes in the morning, and I was given an ultimatum. I could either get up and go see my doctor, or I could go to the ER, but my family was concerned. So I went to my doctor's office, and I was convinced again, because I think we do that in our mind. We convince ourselves what we want it to be, like the lesser of all the things that it could be. I'm like, oh, I pulled a muscle. Could you just give me a shot? Because I needed to be in San Diego by, I think it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm a good 3 hours away from San Diego. So the doctor gave me the shot that I was asking for. And but the funny thing is it didn't take the pain. It didn't do anything. I couldn't sit. He left the room. He came back and, said, you're still standing. And I'm like, yeah, and I was trying to brush it off. Oh yeah, I don't feel like sitting, whatever. He then walks out again and comes back. And at the time, I wasn't deep in spirituality, and I was not, I didn't care. I didn't spend any time on religion. My doctor walked back in and said, I have the intuition, and I believe with my faith that I can't release you. So I'm sending you over to the hospital. We had a little, set to, oh, come on, it's not a big deal. Anyway, the bottom line is I had a pulmonary embolism, and I had passed the clots the night before in the middle of the night. And I'm blessed to be alive. I am blessed. Um, these are the times when I forget, and I forget that what it's like to not to be able to breathe. So today, in gratitude and I'm grateful to share with you the ability to breathe. We take for granted for things that, just happen automatically. But as soon as something is different, and in this case, it was my breathing, I could really respect my body and how it functions and how easy breath is if we have it. So I get put in the hospital and then other stuff goes on. But besides the other stuff going on, it was a time where I was connected to a whole bunch of wires, and my husband was busy with my teenager at the time, and I was alone. And they even took my phone away. The doctor took my phone away so I couldn't work. So literally, I was stripped of everything that I had that I would keep myself busy. This is me now reflecting back and sharing the story, but everything that I would keep my mind busy so I didn't have to give myself time. I was afraid of what I might find within. So instead, I just went without. And I was in a position at the time where I had a very successful career. And so to be laying there and start reflecting and going through and asking myself these big questions, like what am I, it was too soon to say what am I creating, you know, if what I'm doing, does it match who I am? Does it match, does what I'm doing on the outside match who I am on the inside? Or is there some sort of in my case, integrity mismatch? The word and what it meant to me inside, and how the majority of the time I acted on the outside versus possibly things that I needed to do for my job. And I just sort of set aside one of my values to continue. And this experience, what it offered me, or this place, was the time to really define and ask myself some questions. And why was I doing things the way I was doing them? And um my big thing at the time was I need to have a roof over my kid's head, mine too, but really, it was all about my kid at the time. And a whole bunch of time to just think. So F. Scott Fitzgerald had this to say: "It is never too late to become who you want to be. I hope you live a life that you're proud of. And if you find that you're not, I hope that you have the strength to start over." Okay, for me, the strength to start over, I was literally stripped of my health. And I didn't recognize all the little hints along the way. I had to wait apparently for it to be catastrophic, or on that road, that destination to the next life, to really go, "Oh, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for growth." Okay. I'm not planning that at all. But as we're going in, so the first thing is to recognize, and I'm going to take let's unite in a beverage. So my question to you is, what are you creating? Are you creating as you go through your day, are you creating what matches on the inside? Or is it in conflict? And so this past week, someone reached out to me and asked a question, and I responded, and I was like this. And I was reacting, not responding. So reacting is getting it out really quick. Responding is taking a breath uh, and consciously replying. Anyway, I was reacting. So, and then I paused because I have to look for misspelled words or correct. Actually, what I really get in my text says capital C's. And if I text you a lot and you get them, it's because my finger hits a button all the time. So I was cleaning that up. But I stepped back and I looked what I had written. And oh my gosh, it was one huge, huge complaint. A whining complaint from the first word to the end word. So I said to myself, does this match what I believe or my values? Is this how I choose to walk through my day, my moment to moment? Is it? And interestingly enough, I forgot about my big experience 13 years ago. I forgot about how important and how much the sacredness of breath is for me. So this actually has brought me back to there. Like I could go on and on and on and have one big complaint, but as soon as I hit send, that complaint, that vibration, those words, that taking up the if I hit send, I like phone lines back in the day when we had landlines and phone lines. You make a call and then all of that activity, here we go, all of that activity travels through this line and it's going to its destination. But on the way, it's one big complaint. So it's like frying out this cord, which then this cord, it's like the butterfly effect. Whatever I do, the butterfly wings, you can look it up later, but butterfly, spreads its wings and flutters. What is that reaction on the other side? What is affected on the other side? So all of this mumble jumble complaint is just creating this chaos as I send it off to another human being. And that's what I believe. And I caught myself and I deleted it all, just deleted it all and got back to it was a long day and everything turned out great. Because in the end, it did. I was telling the truth. I wasn't stretching and trying to do a spiritual bypass about it. But the work that I needed to do about it being a huge complaint was within me. It wasn't out there for me to splatter on somebody who first off asked for it, but really didn't ask for the big complaint. They just asked a question. And if you need somebody to share like what's going on, these big complaints or stuff that's going on with you, and you don't know how to process it, that's when you like reach out for your minister or you reach out for a practitioner and you set up an appointment so we can gather and help you walk through the process. So this cord, it is contained. Okay. So this is an unknown quote. The question is today one day or is it day one? Is today one just another day? Or is it day one of starting fresh? So, how does this, how do we get from scattered, or the big event or the pandemic of, not really seeing, for in my case, I'm going to speak from me, of not seeing people. I really enjoy the being face to face with somebody and having that energetic exchange. And in group form, I love that. I miss that. And it's kind of like breath. I sort of forgot. And I've created my space to acclimate to the way life has been for the last 2 years. The question now is, or the question all along is this an opportunity to start fresh, whatever that fresh, starting fresh looks like? And when it comes to spirituality, I would say that the next thing is to never stop learning. So continuing our education. When I got out of the hospital, or before I got out of the hospital, when I had my embolism, I didn't have a relationship, or I didn't think I had a relationship with God. Um, quite honestly, I didn't think that it might not even exist. However, what I, in my experience and in some of the experiences that happened in the hospital, and the reflecting back and the ahas and the, oh my gosh, is this real? And that's, I'll say that for another time. But it was a very spiritual experience for days and days and days. And I recognized that the words that I used to um, to support me all these years, or the way that I was supporting myself all through the years, energetically, uh, in ways, but I'm going to do energetically equals spiritual, was all God the entire time. And that's when we talk about that, God, spirit, life, universe, whatever you want to call it, is always been there. It's the only thing that there is. And when I say only thing that there is, I always felt separated from that. I didn't believe that. But when I say it, and when I say it, it is so meaningful to me that I hope that it conveys how the truth, that it is the truth, that whatever you call it, and think back on a moment in your life where um, there is fear or there's joy, and that there's something unexplainable that happened that enhanced that moment. That is God. So I had this longing and this wanting to have this deeper relationship. So I got into classes. Right now I'm not in a class, nor am I teaching a class, but I'm in a like a self-learning class. I'm continuously reading and learning all different aspects of religion, political, because I want to be able to try to understand all of it. Okay. All of it. because the more I understand, or the more that I think I understand, the bigger my God gets. And I'm never going to understand it completely. I'm never going to, because God is ever expanding and expansive. And I do my part of continuing this growth process for myself. So then I can share, pass it along, etc. So life, this is from Ernest Holmes from A New Design for Living. Life is from within out and not from without in. Our life is designed from within, not from without. Should I do that one more time? Life, which in this case, Ernest Holmes is using life equals God. Life is from within out, not from out within. It all begins with me. It all begins from the core of who I am energetically, and it goes from that burst of energy out. You can't get it the other way around. That sums it up for me. One of the other things that to come in agreement with yourself is that we are in an eternal partnership of activity and creativity with life. I am in an eternal partnership of activity and creativity with life. Or I can say it this way: I am in an eternal partnership of activity and creativity with God. When I do something, it's not just it's I and God, or I and life, or I and universe. And it goes back to there's only one thing. Next. And this one is where it's our mission, our golden ticket, if you will, that we're gifted this golden ticket, that we need to become aware of it. We need to become aware of life, or aware of God, and all the conditions in our lives are filled with health, happiness, and abundance, and whatever else you want to add. We become aware of spirit and the ability to manifest, the ability to create, so our lives are filled with happiness and abundance and health. Okay? And lastly, in this continuing education, allowing life, or allowing God, to become a co-designer with us of this new life we want to live and what we want it to become. So if I am out of integrity with my values, if what I believe on the inside I am not creating, or I'm not doing on the outside, that is an opportunity for me to start fresh, to recognize it's an issue, and what do I need to do to change it. Because if my insides, if my values, if I am doing something, for instance, that I believe in unity, which is funny because here's my mug today. I believe in unity. It's one of my core things. If I believe in that, and that's how I walk through life, and then on this physical plane I do something, and it completely goes against everything that this it's a word means to me, I'm out of alignment, I'm out of balance. And when that stuff happens, for me anyway, I feel awful about it. And sometimes we can get so busy and going that you might not recognize that that's out of alignment, and you continue on and you continue on, you can continue on, and then all of a sudden, like I did the other day, you have one big fat complaint that you're ready to text the world. No, I ratchet it back, breathing, like, what do I believe? And reminding myself so I don't forget. This is what I believe. And that leads into the action. The action of all of this, and I say it all the time, so here you go again, is practice, practice, practice. Meaning having a spiritual practice. You can have one, you can have a bajillion varieties. Just do something. Some of you know that I became a Nana. Now it's been 4 months, and on my days off, I am blessed to have the opportunity to babysit or watch. Actually, we're just doing life together. My granddaughter, and at 4 months, I mean, she's just a blessing. But anyway, at 4 months, she's now a little whiny. Not whiny because I don't know why. She's the baby. So she's like, "Wah," and she's a little grumpy. And I'm like, I'm not giving her any food, like the things that you normally go to. Um, I had her up and, bouncing her around and trying to get her to sleep. And anyway, it dawned on me, oh my gosh, what if I did a spiritual practice for me and she was part of it? So there is a chant written by Melissa Felipe called Remembering Who I Am. And next week or the week after, if I do it with her again, I'll film a little bit so you can see. But I put it on and I started to chant along with her. And Elowen didn't chant. She's not that far along. However, she did get into the rhythm. She did get into the energy that I and the musician was sending out. And I remembered who I was. I sort of, not that I forgot, but doing that practice, it's 10 minutes, doing that practice did this big upliftment of me of, oh, I remember. Oh, thank you, Spirit. And I carried on with my day. Um, it was a beautiful experience. It was a beautiful experience that whether you have a grandkid or you have animals, or you don't want to do this alone, and so you go outside and play a little music and chant, and so the birds and nature around you can get that energy as it goes out. Share it. It's beautiful. You are beautiful. You are magnificent. And you get to decide on when you want to start fresh and what that looks like in your life. So with that, I want to thank you for being here today, and your ongoing support of the Camarillo Center for Spiritual Living. And until next time, love ya. Okay, so now let's go into prayer. Let's put our feet on the ground, whether it's carpet, wood, earth, and let's just ground ourselves. And it's up to you. You can keep your eyes open or closed. Prayer works always. And join me, and let's take a deep breath in together. And then let it go out your mouth. One more time. Breathe in through your nose. And exhale. how good it is to be together, how good it is to gather and unite and celebrate the only thing that there is, which is God, Spirit, life, universe, Allah, whatever we name it. And today I recognize and I know that I too am that, for we are all cosmic expressions of that one thing. So I take a deep breath in and I engage with it. I embrace it. I stand in my birthright, knowing that all the abundance, all the goodness, all the wisdom, all the compassion, all of it and so much more is available right here, right now, for me to embrace. I can never take too much. There is enough for everyone. So today I decide if it is day one or another day. You choose. Every single moment is a new moment. It is a new time to continue on or do a fresh start. So I take the time to listen to what I speak or what I'm feeling. And I ask myself if I'm in alignment with my values. And if the answer is yes, I say hallelujah. And if the answer is not today, it's a mistake, I begin again. So I know for each and every person that we have all our needs met right here and right now. That we live a life of love. We live a life expressing that from the inside out. That when we express it from the inside out, there are people that are reflecting it back to me. And I have strong, bondful relationships. And I am grateful and thankful for that. And the abundance that there is enough. And as the cup flows over, I share with my brothers, sisters, and siblings as we all walk through this thing called life. And lastly, our body temple, that our body temple is working in divine right order. That I pay attention. I pay attention to when it needs a tune-up and I give it a tune-up. And I am grateful and thankful for being here and breathing this breath. So all the words that I've spoken, I already know that Spirit has answered yes and said yes, 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 because it responds with yes. So knowing that it's already in action, knowing that it is already done in the mind of God, I release these words, I let them go, and together we say, and so it is. Amen.